So let's take a look at using Momentum Timer Pro for trading the strength indicators. So we're going to be ignoring the daily signals, focusing completely on the strength indicators. These are for people who are much longer term traders. Perhaps you're a money manager like myself, looking for longer term entry points where you're not concerned about what day you're buying in, but you're looking to catch a bigger trend. So if you haven't looked at the guidebook, there's a good description of this, but let's briefly kind of review the key points here. And what we're going to be focused on is when the 1 month window increases to a min, which happens when there's one net buy signal in the past 21 trading days, backtesting suggests there's a high probability for an entry point for a trade. When the 1 month window increases from none to min, min will highlight in gold, just as you see here, to indicate the potential opportunity. When the 3 month window increases to min, this which happens when there's one net buy signal in the past 63 trading days, backtesting suggests this is a high probability entry point for a trade. When the 3 month window increases from none to min, as it does here, min will highlight in gold to indicate the potential opportunity. Now we're largely going to be focused on the 3 month window. In my kind of own review of using this tool, that's the strongest indicator, but we'll also have, I think, 1 or 2 examples on the 1 month to look at. Let's start out with this report for SPY, the S&P 500. We'll look at 2 for it on January 25th, 2019. And here you're seeing, just a regular report. There's no, flashing goal here because we're not looking at the daily signals here. It's showing there's 14 consecutive buy signals. And all of a sudden you see this. The 3 month signal goes to buy, turns gold. You get an up arrow indicating it went from none to min. Now, you're probably in an uptrend or the beginning of an uptrend because you've got all these buy signals here. The 6 month signal sitting at mid. The 1 month is at mid. So potentially what's telling you is you're in the early stages of a rally. And that's what you're looking for. So let's look at a chart here. And what you can see from the bigger picture, the 21-day moving average in red was coming down, bottomed and moved up. The 50-day moving average came down, hadn't bottomed yet, it was starting to move up, and the signal tripped somewhere right in the middle of the circle. Now, I'm not identifying the exact day because it doesn't matter. If you're trading these longer-term signals, what day it occurs is not relevant. What matters is the downtrend is then over, and you're trying to catch this uptrend here, and that's what it did. It said, hey, you need to be buying in here and then ride that wave higher. That's how you use the long-term signals to catch long-term moves higher. Let's look at another one. Now we'll focus on the 1 month signal. Here you can see on April 13th, 2020. I wanted to look at post-pandemic move. You see there's 11 consecutive buy signals built up. We see a 6 month position is at mid, the 3 month position is at min. But what happened here is these two signals never went to none because the market moved down so quick and rebounded. They didn't go to none. But the 1 month did. It went to none, popped back to minimum on 4/13. You get the red arrow, you get the buy signal, and that occurred right here. So, even if you're not a trader and you're not trying to, catch a falling knife and catch this move, but you want a more comfortable entry point, again, maybe you're a money manager. Maybe you just have a lot invested and don't want to take all the risk, but you want to try to catch the upturn. It's telling you want to buy in right somewhere around this circle is where that signal tripped. And then you ride the wave higher, crosses through the 50-day. Sure, it pulls back a little bit, big deal. It's still trying to catch the uptrend, and that's what those longer-term signals do. You can throw on a trailing stop depending on the size of your position and just let this thing run. If you would have gotten stopped out here, you could just turn around and re-enter it back later. But nice positioning here, nice identifying, a nice job of identifying this bigger trend higher. Let's take a look at GDX. Here's a very volatile security, much harder to identify on longer term signals. We'll look at November 19, 2018. It just so happened that on that day it was triggering a sell to a buy on the daily, but you're not worried about that. I mean, if you're trading the long term signals, the dailies don't matter. You see here, no position size on the 1 month telling you there's been a pullback. The 6 month is done, so you can tell it's in a bigger downtrend, maybe bottoming. And the 3 month goes from sell to a buy minimum up arrow, and let's look at where that happens right here. So what you can see is in a bigger picture, that 6-month signal hadn't turned, but the 1-month signal, because you notice this pullback in price here, went back to none, but it was still in the early stages of a bigger move. You buy somewhere in here where it trips the signal, and you ride this move higher. So, see, very nice, very comfortable entry point in terms of a bigger trend, and that would have taken you from say 19.5 all the way up into 22 to 23. Certainly a nice trade, particularly if you're a money manager and you're using this to help identify entry points for your portfolio, which is what I designed it to do as well, not just for traders. Let's look at December 12, 2019. But if you're a portfolio manager, GDX is pretty volatile. So, you need all the help, all the tools you can get. Here you see on the report, 9 consecutive buy signals. But again, you're not worried about that because what you're looking at now, 6-month signal is at a mid. So you tell, okay, we're in an uptrend. 1 month is at a mid. So we're in an uptrend. There was obviously some sort of pullback in the middle here because now on December 12th, we go from none to mid. You get the buy signal, you get the up arrow, and that trips right here. And you're somewhere between 27 and 28. Price runs up into the 29 range. Maybe you've got a trailing stop on here before the bottom falls out, and you could still make some money there. So I didn't want to focus on something more obvious like this uptrend. I wanted to show you that you're going to get these signals at different points. And so if you're a portfolio manager, maybe you're adding to your portfolio here, and then again, putting on some sort of, maybe you can't use a stop loss because you're a portfolio manager, but you can put a line in the sand and a note that says, hey, if it crosses this level or this much drop, I'm going to start exiting positions. Or if you're just managing your own portfolio, you can run those stop losses and have a nice return there. Let's look at one last security. We got 2 examples for TLT. And we have December 19, 2018, 26 consecutive buy signals. But notably here, you've got 1 month at max, so seeing a strong uptrend. There must have been a pullback because the 3-month now goes to a minimum with the up arrow, the gold buy on December 19. The buy signal's at a minimum. So telling us you're in an early stages of an uptrend. That trips right here. How would you have liked to buy TLT down here and ride this whole wave up? I mean, that would have been a fantastic move going from, the 118 range all the way up into the 140. So you see Momentum Time Pro, nice job of that, finding that opportunity there. Let's look at another one for TLT on 5/25/21. So back here in May, people wouldn't be looking at this. And the whole point of Momentum Time Pro is to help you find things you wouldn't normally look at, to scour a large universe and give you the opportunities. Now, it just so happened on the dailies to flag a buy signal, but if you're a long-term trader, long-term investor, you're a longer-term investor, you're not worried about that. You're honed in right here. So what you notice on the 6-month is there's been a downtrend. It's sitting at none. Minimum on the 1 month. So starting to pick up some buy signals here, and then the 3-month trips. So you kind of want to look at the 1 month and 3 month together when you're looking at this, and you get a nice signal here saying, hey, buy on the 3-month window, and you were buying right here. So you can kind of see that there was a pullback in the 1 month that was coming back around. The 6-month hadn't quite gotten to a minimum signal, and you could have ridden this up. You'd be sitting here 138, and you've been riding up here around 150. So again, you can use a trailing stop to catch that out. Maybe you hit a price, that you're happy with. Maybe you see the moving averages roll over and you get out. Again, nice move here for the signal. So as you can see, the longer term indicators were definitely designed for either money managers, longer term investors who are looking for the longer term position. They don't want to catch the falling knife, not looking to time the market bottom, but waiting until all of that flushes out the system and then trying to catch and ride the wave higher.